Oh my fucking god, that was so scary. And why does this sound like demonic Rugrats music? It's sending chills down my boner. Why hello to all within the glorious faggot master race. It is I, your lovely poopy overlord Drew Pickles, and in this day last year, Iron Yoshi uploaded the first in what was a trilogy of videos inspired by the Drew Pickles Talks About Closing Logos series by Tom Circle 3 and the subsequent videos by Skewed and Andrew Ambrose. These videos are some of the most popular and viewed ones on his channel, and what better way to celebrate the first anniversary of that first video with the ever so anticipated 4th entry. As I have mentioned before, I will be looking at logos that Iron Yoshi remembers from childhood, as well as ones that have not been in prior videos, though there may be a few exceptions, and we will also be showcasing video game logos and startup screens and bumpers too. And now that the 4th wall has been destroyed for the 10th time, let us begin. The first logo I showed you was the RKO television logo that was used from 1983 until 1987. This was the television division of RKO General, a station that was infamous for its shady business practices and corporate misconduct. It got to a point that the FCC ultimately ruled them as unfit to be a broadcasting licensee and shut them down. Their logo is also pretty infamous for its discordant music that sounds almost like something out of Rugrats near the end and loud flashing and overall cheesiness. Personally, I think that swirl would make a great butt plug. So why don't we move to something a little more calming and very nostalgic? Ah yes, the Random House Home Video logo from 1984. I looked at this logo with my foot-sucking brothers too in Andrew Ambrose's first logo video, but I felt it was worth bringing up again. This was the home video department of the book publisher Random House, and this variant of the logo was fairly common to see on VHS tapes of none other than my favorite sex hamster Arthur Loves Cox Reed, as well as early Sesame Street VHS tapes, The Berenstain Bears, and The Busy World of Richard Scarry. Iron Yoshi had an Arthur and 2 Richard Scarry VHS tapes growing up, and he remembers this logo fondly, especially that lovely synthesized tune. I would love to have a swell orgy with the Barney Bunch in that little house, though seeing how easily it falls apart, it might not be a good idea. Though it can reassemble itself with the greatest of ease, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Well, we gotta fill our scary logo quota for the video, and here's one that many people consider scary, but I find it very swell. This is the infamous Hanna-Barbera swirling star from 1979, and has seen multiple uses across the board. Iron Yoshi remembers seeing this logo primarily at the end of each episode of the Powerpuff Girls, and it gave him quite a fright. The dark background, zooming star, and discordant synthesized music had led this logo to be feared by many over the years. I personally don't see the problem. In fact, I think that this logo is extremely swell. It reminds me of a man's gaping asshole, and my 300-mile-long cock gets a massive rock-hard boner from seeing it. That was a super swell fucking logo. To fill our quota for a video game company logo, this is the 2003 variant of the Toys for Bob logo. Toys for Bob is a video game developer first forming in 1989 and becoming a subsidiary of Activision in 2005. While most of their library consists of obscure titles and licensed properties, they are best known for the Skylanders series as well as the beloved remaster of the Spyro trilogy and the most recent Crash Bandicoot game. Unfortunately, it seems that they have been banished to the Call of Duty development grounds as of this year, meaning that they will probably be producing nothing but Call of Duty from now on. God damn it, Activision. No wonder people hate you as much as EA. Anyway, this logo has to be the swellest one for a video game developer, as that rocket would not only make a swell dildo, but the big O would make a great cock ring, and the music has to be the swellest and sexiest penis music I ever heard. I need to download that tune and jack off to it immediately. Continuing on with the video game discussion, we now have the Nintendo GameCube startup screen. While it may not have been Nintendo's most successful console, there's no denying that the GameCube not only had one of the best controllers, but so of the most beloved games like Luigi's Mansion, The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, though the latter was mostly a Wii exclusive, the Metroid Prime Trilogy, Super Smash Bros., Melee, Mario Party 4-7, Mario Kart Double Dash, one of the last F-Zero games, and one of Iron Yoshi's personal favorites, Super Mario Sunshine. Iron Yoshi grew up with the GameCube, and it, along with the Nintendo 64, seemingly cemented his love for the medium of video games. Though he does wish Nintendo would acknowledge its existence more, especially with this year being its 20th anniversary, and maybe someday we'll get a GameCube portion to Nintendo Switch Online, but that seems like wishful thinking. So let's get back on track with some more VHS logos, shall we? And what better way than to stare directly into the faces of evil? Here is the Walt Disney Classics logo from 1984. Talk about looking super cheap. I mean, this is Disney we are talking about, right? This was done back when Disney was starting to release some of their older films onto VHS tapes, but there was a catch. They made them limited releases and preyed upon people's fear of missing out, and then a few years later released those same films for a limited time once again, and this practice continued up until the mid to late 2010s. What assholes. I recommend you check out Ystera World Entertainment's video in the matter, but could you imagine me doing the same thing with my gay pornos? Oh, did you miss out on that classic of classic gay pornos, Penis Clown Cock and Ball Adventure 69, Journey to the Center of Uranus? Well, too fucking bad. It's a limited time release. We put it back inside Barney's asshole and you won't be able to see it again for another decade or two. Joke's on you for missing out on this iconic and most beloved of all pornos. And Group Pickles and the Big Fat Scatfag Fuckfest will be joining it soon. Get it, while you still can. Fuck you. Anyway, back on topic, Iron Yoshi is more familiar with the later logo he used, which was similar to the normal Disney home video logo that featured the Sorcerer Mickey Mouse but had different music. This one looks like somebody was playing around with Microsoft PowerPoint effects and a Super Nintendo sound chip when making it. It all just screams laziness in my opinion. Iron Yoshi would properly encounter this logo when he was in the 7th grade, when his English teacher put in a VHS tape of Cinderella for the class to watch. Well, I suppose now it's time we looked at more logos with a guest star. I wonder who it's gonna be this time.
Hello my delightfully darling dykes. My name is Bettyville and, hold on, where am I? This doesn't look like Bettisburg at all. And is that who I think it is?
No. 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 No 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 no. What the everlasting fucking shitty dildos. I refuse to do this with the likes of Betty DeVille. I'd rather do this with the Cube Muppet again. Anybody but her.
Well, I am not too thrilled about this arrangement either. But it seems that Iron Yoshi is trying to keep these fresh by adding a random guest character. Besides, we can get back at him later. So what exactly are we doing?
Alright, fine. It's not like this is the first time we were forced to work together, nor do I believe it to be the last. So I assume you brought some logos with you.
To be honest, whether through sheer plot relevance or crazy coincidence, I do have some logos and bumpers. Here is one that I am very fond of.
It's the Viacom V of Doom. Get it away from me.
This isn't the V of Doom, you brainless oaf. This is the V of Steel, which was Viacom's logo from 1986 to 1990. This one is a lot calmer and friendlier than the V of Doom, and Iron Yoshi remembers seeing this at the end of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, at least, when it was still on Netflix. Personally, I like this logo, because the V stands for vagina, and that makes me super wet and horny.
Oh my fucking god. I didn't need to hear any of that. My cock is going flaccid at that thought.
Oh hush now. Here's the next logo. I heard this one is quite scary. To Entertain was brought forward after BBC Video merged with Video Collection International in 2004. Their logo is kind of creepy, mainly with the dark background and creepy sound effects really send chills down your titties. Iron Yoshi first saw this logo on the DVD set of the Walking With series, specifically the prehistoric Earth set. He found this logo to be quite unsettling, the music and weird sounds towards the end in particular.
Holy sweet Gildas. The music for that just sounded creepy and unsettling. It sounds like something you would hear when you get abducted by an alien spaceship and the aliens give you an anal probe. Oh, now that I think about it, that actually sounds extremely swell. Imagine using all those pointy objects as dildos, and it would be even better if the aliens were really gay.
Oh, so it's completely fine for you to have thoughts of a wild sexual fantasy yet I can't? How exactly is that fair? Just what I expected out of a disgusting man.
Don't question my methods, bitch. If you want a really scary logo, then I have just the thing for you. That was so scary. This is the surround sound logo from 1996. Conserval 3 had this featured in her third logo video, but I felt it was worth mentioning here. This was a common logo to see if you owned a Sony VHS tape from that time, at least ones that were compatible with Dolby Surround. If you wanted the purest definition of childhood trauma for Iron Yoshi, then look no further. This was on par with the MGM/UA home video logo, as one of the scariest logos he's ever seen. The dark background, sudden flash and metal clanging sound, and that haunting choir has led to many nightmares, and even to this day, this logo still sort of creeps him out. Definitely one to avoid watching in the dead of night.
This logo? Scary? The Betty Bunch and I love this logo. Mainly, because we use this to scare the piss out of Charlotte, literally. She is absolutely terrified of this one, and we always play it around Halloween to scare those pesky teenagers.
Glad to hear that you are treating my ex-wife with the care she deserves. So why don't we switch things up with a bumper now? This one is certainly a classic. Anybody who watched Cartoon Network back in the late 90s and early 2000s will be familiar with this bumper, which on occasion had some characters from the cartoons programming block pot in the O. I would love to have those ribbons wrap around my cock and I would be able to engage in classic cock and ball torture.
That one is certainly a classic. Just the thought of being tentacle-fucked by those ribbons is making me wet. Speaking of bumpers, it's usually tradition to have us look at some from Nickelodeon, so here's one from 1991 that dwarf fetishists would get a boner for, called Egg and Spoon.
What the fuck? What were they smoking when they made this? Because I want some. Anyway, Iron Yoshi never grew up with many of these old Nickelodeon bumpers, as he was a child of the 2000s. He finds this one funny, plus he always had a thing for crude and primitive computer animation from the 90s. Nickelodeon certainly had a wide variety of bumpers, many we have looked at in past logo videos. So now let's look at a video game startup screen. The PlayStation 2, one of the highest-selling consoles of all time, had a unique startup screen that will come as nostalgia for those who owned one. Iron Yoshi used to be creeped out by this one as a kid, which further established how much of a fucking pussy he was.
Personally, I find calling a male a pussy is an insult to the very word. But hey, that's just me. So after looking at some weird and somewhat scary logos, here is something rather calming. Here is the Jim Henson video logo from 1992. While I do have a burning disdain towards all men, Jim Henson is the only exception, mainly because he was a true visionary and creative mind who made some of the most beloved characters of all time, and whose work continues to inspire countless generations. Anyway, Jim Henson Video was formed the year after Jim's passing and distributed many of his productions onto home video, primarily the Muppet movies and Muppet Babies. They would be acquired by the ones who threatened to sue Newgrounds over the Barney Bunch, Hit Entertainment, after the Jim Henson Company was repurchased by the Henson family. And here's a swell piece of trivia that you may or may not have known, but Hit Entertainment was actually formed by Jim Henson himself, as a way to distribute some of his shows internationally. In fact, Hit stands for Henson International Television.
Hold the fucking dildo. I recognize that music. Oh my fucking god. They used the Disney home video music from 1991. I'm surprised that they didn't get sued for that, especially since Disney is ruthless when it comes to its copyright.
Well, it's not uncommon for most logos to use the same piece of music. In this case, Jim Henson Video had a distribution deal with Disney. Funny, because Disney would end up acquiring the Muppets during the early or mid 2000s. And look how well they handled that. Though it is nice to have the Muppets on Disney Plus. Well, it looks like that's all I have. I have to get going, Drew. The Betty Bunch are about to have a massive lesbian orgy. So I am getting the fuck out of here. See you later, faggot, if you are lucky.
Oh thank fucking Barney. She's finally gone. Good, because we have several more logos to get through. Here is one Iron Yoshi used to be creeped out guy. New Line Cinema is a film studio that was formed in 1967 and was known for releasing films like the Nightmare in Elm Street series and the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as well as that one movie that is overplayed every Christmas, that being Elf. They would soon become a subsidiary studio for Warner Brothers. Iron Yoshi always thought that the music just felt too eerie and creepy when he was a kid, but now he doesn't have much issue with it. Again, reinforcing how much of a fucking pussy he was when he was younger. Now let's look at another video game company logo. This is the logo for Blue Tongue Entertainment, an Australian video game developer known for various Nicktoon games and the D-Blob series that was founded in 1995 and went defunct in 2011. This particular logo appeared in Jurassic Park, Operation Genesis, a game that he and his best friend used to play all the time when they were kids. I have a suspicion that the dinosaur shown here got a glimpse of Barney's massive bellsack, with its 3 testicles. Once again returning to Lionsgate, this is their home video logo from 2001. Iron Yoshi remembers seeing this logo in VHS tapes of Stickin' Around, a cartoon that's so obscure that I bet nobody outside a few people really give a shit about. This logo was also seen on a handful of DVDs featuring the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. While it may not be as visually appealing as their later logos, it was a start. I would love for those constellations to form a giant penis. That would be very swell. Now let's go ahead and
Ren, and how do you do, fellow faggots? My name is Ronald the goddamn penis clown McDonald, and I am back once again to showcase another swell ass fucking logo. And the reason why I am back once again to showcase another swell ass fucking logo is because if I don't make an appearance in at least one of these logo videos, then the universe might just fall apart. So earlier I was listing some VHS tapes into the Hamburglar's asshole when he shot out one of them into the VCR and this logo popped up and we thought it was so fucking scary and kinda weird, but I have to get back to shoving more VHS tapes up the Hamburglar's ass. So I'm going to leave you with this logo to show the swell viewers. Until next time, see you later my fellow faggots, and this logo is your ticket to the future.
God damn it. I can't escape that penis clown. I guess we'll look at this logo. What in the everlasting fuck did I just watch? Ronald always finds the weirdest shit. Anyway, he left a note containing information on this one, and he also used it as a cum rag. Swell. This is the Camp Video logo from 1986, which is an independent company that released several cheap low-budget horror movies, and their logo is just as much of a fucking oddball. The crudely drawn space and earth background combined with the loud whooshing sounds make this logo seem rather cheap and scary, but given that they specialize in cheap movies, I guess it's rather fitting. Now let's move on to a nice cum logo. Here is the Loremar television logo from 1978. Much like the Playhouse video logo, anybody who was in the Barney Bunch and Speakonia community during its early years in YouTube might remember that this logo's jingle was used by Sammy the Snake as an early version of the Ambit video logo. Such super swell memories. Sammy the Snake's videos will be turning 15 years old this year. Crazy how time flies. Back on topic, some might see this logo as scary, but Iron Yoshi thinks it looks simple but pleasing. And now we got a bumper to showcase next, this one being from Cuba. Cuba was a children's television block that first launched in 2006. They mostly focused on programming for children ages 5 to 14 and were mostly partnered with the ION network. They at one point even had their own channel which had specific programming in the evening geared towards older audiences, mostly retro cartoons from the Filmation catalog and even that Animorphs TV series. Unfortunately Cuba came to an end and was discontinued this year. As if this year wasn't a heaping load of unswellness. Iron Yoshi has many fond memories of watching Cuba all the time, when he was a kid, and it's a shame that it's shut down a decade later, especially with all the memorable programming it had. So how about one final bumper, before we move on to our last logo for the video. This one is sure to rock your nostalgia boner. You can't get more 2000s nostalgic than Kids WP, which was the children's block for the WP network, which was later turned into that crap nest of a channel known as the CW. Iron Yoshi remembers watching a fucking of Kids WP back then, and they were best known for airing the Pokemon anime among others, along with a slew of reruns of Animaniacs and some original programming. It's a shame it was discontinued in 2008, because it had some great shows on there. And now we move on to our final logo, because this video is already way too fucking long, as is. Here is the 4Kids logo from 1998. Good old swell 4Kids. They will forever live on in infamy for their anime dubs and re-edits that make no sense. Iron Yoshi remembers seeing this logo at the end of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, which were common to see on the aforementioned Kids WP as well as Cartoon Network. With the advent of streaming, it seems the days of shitty anime dubs or re-edits are over, unless there are some that Iron Yoshi isn't aware of. But he doesn't follow anime like a fucking weeaboo. And with that, we finally wrap up another long-ass fucking logo look back. Perhaps there will be a 5th entry soon, but no promises. It seems that 4 is a good number to end off on, because it can be used as a dildo, much like many of these logos. If you want more logo swellness, I once again recommend you watch Attack the Cryogenal Swell video in the same subject matter, as well as the classics made by Tom Servo 3, Scoot, and Andrew Ambrose. And hey, maybe somebody out there is already making a video similar to this one and the others. But for now, I am tired, and so is my penis. A good old-fashioned Barney Bunch orgy sounds really swell right about now, so I'll end things here. Until next time, I am your bellsack bouncer Drew Pickles, saying penis pumps don't equal inflation fetish. That's just fucking weird. See you later my sexually stimulating studs. There isn't really much else to add to this video, especially since there is something at the end, so I will say this word that I think is really funny. Ahem. Cuba just. Wasn't that just the funniest word you ever heard? I'll say it again. Ahem. Cuba just.